What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to kind of dive in the transformation of changing my layout from this to the two-tier display. Now, this is considered a two-tier as well, but I don't have the top part enclosed. So really what I do have is a three-tier, which is the new one. But anyway, we're just going to say one tier and two tier just to make it simple. But yeah, this is the old display, the way that everything used to look. And if you already seen my room tour, then you've seen the two-tier type of display. But I want to just kind of go through the process that I went through to get there. So let's go ahead and get on this journey. Take a tour with your boy. All right, so first thing we did, we took the premium formats out of here. And I just want to kind of show y'all how I, did the displays for these. So I bought like a poster that was too big. And basically all I did was I cut that poster where the bottom of it is. And then I actually applied the rest of it to the bottom. So you had some on the back as well as on the bottom. And I thought it looked amazing. It looked good like that. And the statues that works best for this type of display setup like I had is premium formats. So premium formats, they don't have a huge base. So it looks good when you do those in this type of display. And then right here we had the Suicide Squad. And then over here we had the Dark Knight. So I love the way that this looked, but I wanted something different. I wanted something better. So I decided to make a change, and the rest is history, man. So first we start out by getting rid of the Bestas. And I discovered, like, within the space that I had enough space to do 2 more garage shelves. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. That's enough space. We can do 8 across, 2 tiers. So that's 16 displays. So that was the original thought behind this. I could get more of my 1/4 scale statues for display, because it's a lot of 1/4 scale statues that I wanted. So I was running out of space. So the only way to go when you don't have any more space is to go up. So that's what we decided to do here. Okay, so as you can see now, we have all of the statues took out of the displays on the floor. This is one of the most dangerous things you can do, especially when you have a kid and a dog, so you got to try to do this stuff quick, man, because they come up here wanting to play and want to do things, man, so always break something. But anyway, man, so this is what we have right here. Everything is cleaned out. As far as the statues are concerned, all we have right now is the posters and stuff like that on the background with the board. And this is where things get kind of complicated, because this is where the real deal is happening. You finna have to disassemble. It's finna look hectic. So this is where things get, a little stressful for most people. But if you keep everything in order, keep everything together, it'll turn out looking good in the end. All right, so now we have everything disassembled, looking a mess, chaotic, but this is where all of the organization and planning comes into play. I already kind of figured out what I want to do, but this is where, you got to execute. This is where the execution comes, and this is where it can be kind of stressful because everything has to fit together the way you envisioned it. And this did not work out that way for me. So I actually had to cut the rails so that they would fit better due to the fact that my wall is shorter on the back of the wall where these are displayed. I had to cut them to make them fit. All right, so here we are. We have the board on the bottom display. The top display is still open, and so far it looks amazing. Loving the way that this look. Already got everything wrapped. As far as the wallpaper is concerned, you know, putting on the particle board. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave the link in the video about, you know, how I did this. And then right here, as you can see, I got the back taped up, but I took the tape off because I wanted to be able to access the back just in case I needed to. That was a terrible mistake. The tape needed to be on, man. The tape needed to be on because over time, the adhesive from the Velcro strips started to wear off. So needed to do the tape from the beginning. Okay, so here we are. Just wanted to kind of see what I was working with, what I was up against. And things got a little difficult right here because I got to put the boards up. You know, I had to put the boards up, but at the same time, once you put the boards up, I can't get to the back like I need to. So I basically had to kind of just crawl in between the holes and, you know, put the boards up on the top shelf first and then did the bottom shelves. Which eventually, you know, it was easier as I continued to do it. But, you know, I had to think it all through because I did all of this by myself. But as you can see, we got the wires going. We got tape going. We got all type of stuff happening, man. And then right here, this is where we have pretty much everything assembled as far as the shelves are concerned. We still have our, you know, adhesive strips that we got to put on, but we're good to go. And then right here, we're pretty much done. All we got to do is add our statues. But as you can see, we have our posters up, looking dope. Now I wish I could have got every single poster 11 by 17, but it was hard to find some in 11 by 17. So some of them are smaller, but majority of them are 11 by 17, and they look great. They look great. I love the way that they look. I'm still working on some of them. Some of them that I'm not crazy about, I will swap out, you know, if I find better posters down the line. And then of course, some of them are just placeholders, fillers. But for the most part, you know, we're good. I got to replace some posters over here as well with Ultraman. But yes, man, I'm loving the way that this turned out. I think it looks way better than just the regular one tier type of display. So all we got to do now is add the statues, take a look at those and see what we're working with. All right, so now we got the statues added, and wow, man, it looks amazing. Now, for the most part, you know, the statues that I have in my collection, they're staying. Some of the things like the premium formats here, they are replaceable, right? So if something comes along in the future that I really love, I will probably replace the premium format statues. But as far as like the prime ones, XM Studio, Iron Studios and stuff like that, I don't really see myself getting rid of those. But love the way that this looks. Definitely looks amazing. A lot of work. It took me a lot of time to get this done. A lot of, you know, processing, a lot of thinking. Because once you do it, man, you don't want to have to redo your display all over again. And like I said earlier, I did mess up because I did not secure the backs with tape. I only used the adhesive strips and eventually they wore out. So I eventually had to remove everything out and redo it by putting tape on the back to secure it better so that it wouldn't come loose in the back ever again. But yes, man, let me know what y'all think about the display. I love it. Cannot wait to get the rest of the statues. You can already see, you know, what I have coming in for the most part. Some things are just placeholders, but for the most part, you can kind of gauge and tell what statues I have coming in. But I would love to know in the comments below what you guys think. Let me know. Stay tuned in. You know I got more videos coming for you soon, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Peace.